Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, what's up? My name is Caitlin, and today I'm going to be doing a full face of my favorite cruelty-free drugstore products. This isn't going to be like, I love this blush and this blush and this blush. That's going to be like a later video. This is just going to be like my favorite item of every category is going on my face, of the stuff that I've tried anyway. I do want to test like every cruelty-free drugstore highlighter and put like the best and the worst in a video at some point. But that's gonna be like down the road once I can buy every drugstore highlighter and whatnot. But anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. First thing I'm gonna do, if you can tell, I'm sure you can, I do already have a brow product in my brows, and it is not cruelty-free, or it is cruelty-free, I'm sorry. It's not drugstore, and that's the Bodyography powder that I use like every day. I don't have a drugstore brow product that I love, except for this guy. I love this. This is the Milani brow shaping clear gel. I love this, and I am going to use this right now, but I don't have like a powder or a pencil or anything like that that I just love. I've tried an e.l.f. one and I've tried a Wet n Wild one. They're okay, but they're just not my favorite. I like powders better. I've also tried a e.l.f. Like the little pots, the gel pots, whatever they're called. I hate those. I just cannot use them. So yeah, anyway, so that's my brow product, is the Milani brow gel. My hair's crazy right now. Anyway, moving on. Next I'm gonna throw on some chapstick. This is the Wet n Wild Pout and Kiss Lips Chapstick. I'm gonna be honest, this is my second favorite chapstick. My favorite chapstick from the drugstore is this guy. This is the Palmer's Cocoa Butter formula, but I don't feel like you can get this a lot of places. Like, I've only seen it at Dollar Tree, so I didn't know if I should include it, but I'm gonna give it like an honorable mention because it is my favorite drugstore chapstick. But I don't know if you can get it many places. Is Dollar Tree like an everywhere thing, or is that just like a Midwest thing? Let me know. If you're not from the Midwest and you watch this, let me know if you have a Dollar Tree around you. Next product, face primer. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. I freaking love this primer. Like, this is better than most high-end primers I've tried. I really want to try the hydrating primer by e.l.f. because I need like hydrating primer because my skin is super dry, and this is a little bit dry, not too bad. It's kind of like moisturizing feeling when you first put it on, but throughout the day it gets a little bit drier, but it's still a really good primer. It definitely does a great job of like blurring and smoothing out my pores and I love it for that. But I do want to like mix it with a hydrating primer, because that's what I typically do, is I'll mix or I'll just use a hydrating moisturizer, which is what I used today, and it was not drugstore. I don't really have a lot of drugstore skincare items, and by a lot I mean I think I have one, and that's the e.l.f. Cleanser Balm in the little tub. It's really, really good. I will link that down below because I didn't bring it in here to talk about. It's in the bathroom and I don't want to go grab it, but it is great. All the products I will talk about today will be linked down below, as they always are. So if you're curious as to a product, check the description box. So next we'll go, foundation. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. I am in the shade 00A Porcelain. I am fair, but I know most of you are probably going to be like, why are you not talking about the e.l.f. one? Because that's usually my like go-to favorite, but here lately it's just not been, I don't know, it's been weird on my skin lately, and I've been reaching for this guy a lot more, so I'm thinking my favorite might have changed. But I really like this foundation, and it does have like a really good concealer in with it. Shoot, I forgot to do that. We'll just have to make it work. My concealer that I'm going to talk about, I guess I'll just talk about it now. It's the e.l.f. I don't even know what it's called. It's an e.l.f. concealer. It's in the shade Fair. I don't care for this concealer, to be honest, but I don't have a drugstore concealer that I like at all. I honestly only own like 3 concealers. One is by Wet n Wild. It's okay, it's like a chubby little stick thing, but it only comes in like 1 shade, and it's like a highlight shade, not a concealer shade, so I don't want to talk about that one too much. And then I have this e.l.f. one, and I have Tarte Shape Tape. That's like all I have. I do have some color correctors by NYX. Those are pretty good, but I don't color correct too often. That was like a phase for a minute when everyone was doing it. Of course, I had to join that bandwagon, but it's not something I do too often. But if I do, I have those NYX guys down there, which again, I will link down below. I guess I could just show those to you. These guys. I have the green and the yellow. I do get red sometimes, so I like the green. And then the yellow I just use for my under eyes because they're pretty dark. So the reason why I don't like this e.l.f. highlight, or not highlight, concealer, it's not a bad concealer like at all. It's actually pretty decent. It gives a nice amount of coverage for the price, but the problem is this is the lightest shade and it's darker than my foundation. Like, that's too dark for me. That's not fair. That's like, I don't know, closer to medium than fair, I would say. So I'm probably not gonna use this today. Well, I'll use it for eye primer. We'll do that. Just because I don't have, yes I do. I have a drugstore eye primer that I love, but that's okay. I don't use it too often because I don't really reach for eye primer like ever. What will it hurt if I put it on over this? We'll just do that. I'm scatterbrained in this video like I am in real life. My favorite primer is this guy. This is the Milani eyeshadow primer in the shade Nude. I'm not going to use this quite yet. Yeah, we will actually, because I'm going to set my face next. Seriously, I'm scatterbrained today. I actually had to go to the store before filming this video so I could get 2 of the products because I didn't have them. They'd ran out, so that was a fun time. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling just because I have not been talking for like the last 2 days really, because I had I think it was strep throat, I'm not sure. A bunch of people at my workplace had it and then I got really sick and my throat was killing me, so I'm just going to assume it was strep throat. But I didn't go to the doctor because I'm smart like that and never do. I did try, but you know, that's another story. Next, to set my eye primer, I'm going to use a powder and then I'm going to use a different powder for my face. This powder that I'm going to use for setting my eyes is the e.l.f. Translucent Mattifying Powder. I'm just going to use that to set my eyes just because I do like this, but it is a little dark for my skin once again, so that's why I'm just going to use this to set the eyes, because I did want to talk about it because it is a really good powder, but it's just too dark for me. Which is so unfortunate because it's really nice and cheap. So, moral of the story is e.l.f. needs to get it together on their shade range because, yeah, this is translucent. It's not translucent. It's like a light shade. Moving on. This is a great powder. This is by e.l.f. This is their HD sheer powder. I used to be in like a huge chunky container and I used to talk about it a lot, but they did just change it. It's just pour powder here. This is one of the products that I just went to the store to get because I did not have it. But yeah, the little puff has like a crease in it from the container. Can you even see? There we go. So it says peel off and turn dial. I'm gonna have to peel this off somehow. This will be a fun time. I should have done this before the video. But like I said, I did just have to go get this because I did run out of mine a while ago and I just haven't repurchased it for whatever reasoning. I don't really know why. I do really like it and I don't have a lot of setting powders that I'm crazy about. So this is one that I do like. And we're just gonna pour the powder in here like it says to do. This is a really, really, really finely milled powder. Also sounds really weird to get out of here, but that's what it looks like there. And then I'm going to take my Real Techniques sponge that is filthy, I know. I'm gonna spray it with some setting spray, which means I guess I can go ahead and talk about this. This is my favorite setting spray from the drugstore. It's the Hard Candy Glow Sheer Envy Illuminating Setting Spray. This is not like some super amazing life-changing setting spray, but I like the way it feels, and it's really good for wetting sponges, and it won't make you feel bad about doing that because it's not super expensive. And it is an illuminating spray, so I'm gonna go ahead and bake the face now. There are literally so many people outside right now, and they're all looking at me, I swear. They're probably really not. I'm probably just being paranoid, but you know. I feel like I can get away with not using concealer with this foundation because it is a 2-in-1 concealer and foundation. So if you just build up the coverage where you would normally conceal, it works about the same. So I'm not too heartbroken about not having a concealer to talk about. But maybe that should be like my first mission for this like videos that I want to do with the best of the drugstore videos. Maybe it should be concealers first, just so I have to like force myself into trying more concealers. You guys will have to let me know down below what your favorite cruelty-free drugstore concealer is. I know that a lot of people talk about the Makeup Revolution one and the Ulta one. I have not tried either of them yet, but I need to. Okay, what's next? This is normally where I would do my brows, but we already did those, so I guess we could contour? Maybe? Actually, let's talk about this real quick, and then I'll get back to makeup because I need to let this bake. This is the Wet n Wild One Step Wonder Gel. I freaking love these. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades, and I'm missing one. I had the black one, which was amazing, but I have no idea where it went. I think I lost it when we moved somehow. But yeah, this one is the one I wear the most. It's in the shade Periwinkle of an Eye. These are amazing. I think they're like $4.99. They are gel polish. They don't require a lamp or light to cure. And they're cruelty-free. They're cheap. They're drugstore. And I really like them. So I thought I would mention that because they're like a really great, affordable drugstore option. I cannot get these where I live though. Like I have to go like 45 minutes away, and then sometimes even that store doesn't have them. So it's kind of annoying, but you know, they're online too if you guys really want to try them. I'm just gonna brush away this bake now. Kind of brushing it all over the face as I do so, just so kind of sets those places that I didn't bake a little bit. See, I really like that pattern. It makes it look really like airbrushed, except for it's not coming off right here. There we go. Moving on to contouring. This is a bronzer, but I recently discovered it and I'm not turning back. This is the Wet n Wild bronzer in the shade You're Dragging Me Down. I so hope they make this permanent, or do that one thing that like Wet n Wild kind of likes to do and make permanent things, or not permanent things permanent just by changing the name. I'd be okay with that too, but I love this bronzer. I use it for contour though, and it's so good. Like my Kat Von D contour is still my like ride or die, but I've been reaching for this a lot lately, like even over the Kat Von D, and that's definitely saying something. Because the Kat Von D has been like the only thing I wear ever for like the longest time. And I don't really care for this like to bronze the face, but to contour, yes. Actually, is this the wrong shade? Oh no, this might be the wrong shade. Hold please. You guys are just like seeing every angle of me today. I apologize for that, but I also have this one called Queensland. Is this the one that I like? Or is it You're Dragging Me Down? No, I don't remember. No, okay, we're right. It's You're Dragging Me Down. Pause. I was a little worried for a second there because it looks a little orangey today, but that's all right. We'll make it work. It's getting super dark. It's probably going to rain. It's only like 1:30 right now, and it's dark out. So while I bronze, we'll just talk for a minute. I guess this is contour. I'm thinking about going to see Venom tonight. Like, I love superhero movies. I'm sure I've said that a million times, but they're my favorite. And Venom looks so good. So I really want to go see it tonight. You guys should let me know down below if you've seen it and if you liked it. No spoilers though. But yeah, I also kind of want to see Smallfoot. Is that what it's called? It's like a children's movie, but it looks so cute. And it's got like Zendaya and LeBron and all that in there, so I want to go see it. But yeah, like, I love Disney movies too. It's not Disney, I don't think, but it looks fun. I want to go see it. I was telling my boyfriend about it, and he's just like, no. And then I was like, but LeBron's in it, and he's like, deal. So that worked out. It's the only way I got him to watch Trainwreck as well, is because LeBron was in it, but he actually fell asleep during that. I was pretty butthurt about that. Okay, contour is done. Now let's actually bronze the face, and for that, like, did you expect anything less from me? This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I do use the shade Light Bronze because I am fair, and I like to be messy with this. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like coconuts. This is actually my second one, so I have gone through a full one of these, but I just like to use this big kabuki. This is a Wet n Wild kabuki brush, so I guess this counts as a drugstore favorite because it's my favorite kabuki brush. I do have a new one that I haven't tried yet, but I'm saving that for a video. But I just like to just kind of go crazy with this and not really like be precise, just because I feel like it's something that you can be messy with and it still looks good. I always like to do a little bit on the nose area too, and the chin. There is that. I love this. Okay. Blush. This is the Milani powder blush in the shade Romantic Rose 01, and I love these. Milani is something that, again, I took a chunk out of it right there. Could you see that? Cute. Milani is something, again, that is really hard for me to find in the area I live in, just because it's not at any of the stores. Like, okay, the only place that I have to buy makeup in my town is Walmart. And the only cruelty-free options that they have is Wet n Wild and e.l.f. And then even then we don't get like half of the stuff that everyone else gets. So, like, we just got, last week, we just got the Zodiac collection and all we got was the lip glosses. So that's saying something. But I love this blush. It's not super pigmented, but it's really easy to build up, which is what I love about it. Because if you guys know me, you know that's the kind of blush I like. I don't love super pigmented blushes because I'm messy with blush and I'm not very good at blush. And to be honest, I don't really like blush that much. But I do have a few that I really do care for. And this is one of them. It's super pretty, super light, super easy. I would love to get my hands on more of these, but again, Milani's like nowhere near where I live. I live in Iowa, but I think like the only place I've ever found Milani is, I don't even know if I found Milani in Iowa, to be honest. There was like this like a little travel place that came down to a mall near me. They weren't like a store, they were just like a pop-up store, and they had Milani stuff, which is where I purchased all of my Milani stuff, except for this. I think I got this in Arizona, but that's why I have very few Milani products, because I got them there. So next would be a highlight. I kind of cheated on this one because I have two highlights, but one's loose and one's not. So yeah, first one is the non-loose one. This is Pixie and Aspen Ovard. She's a YouTuber. I have done some serious damage to this. Like, there's a big old dent in there. This one's the shade London Luster. She does have two, and then a blush shade that I also really like, but I like this one more. It's fairer of the two, so I like it more on my skin tone. But I'm just gonna go ahead and pop this on the cheeks. So pretty, like blinding highlight pretty. And these are kind of pricey for drugstore, but they are beautiful and so worth it in my opinion. I think they were like $16 each, which is getting up there, but they're still really good. And it is my favorite highlight at the drugstore that's not loose. I honestly don't know which one I like more, this one or the loose one I'm going to talk about, but they're both really beautiful. That's why I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do. So I cheated a little bit, and we're doing a powder highlight and a loose highlight. So, sorry. This one is beautiful. The loose highlight that I've been loving is by Wet n Wild. I feel like this video is pretty much all Wet n Wild. But Wet n Wild makes some good stuff, and they're cheap and affordable and cruelty free. This is the Zodiac, what is it called? Written in the Stars loose highlighter. Oh, the scratchiness of my voice just came back. So it looks like this. It is super messy in the lid, but because there's no sifter, it's just kind of loose in there, but it's so pretty. I'm just gonna pop it on over top. I don't like to put this one everywhere. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. This one's even more blinding. But I don't really like to put this everywhere just because I feel like it is a little sparkly. But I love it on the cheeks. And then even on the cupid's bow a little bit. I try to avoid putting it on the nose though, just because it is a little glittery, so I do have large pores there. But this is beautiful. Love it. Okay. Next is eyes. Can you guys hear that? It just started pouring. So sorry that you're gonna have to deal with that in my video, but it started pouring. So moving on to eyeshadow. I kind of cheated with this too. I do have two eyeshadows to talk about, but they are both by e.l.f. and I wear them in conjunction with each other because I don't feel like this you could definitely get its own look out of, but this I don't feel like you could. This is the Velvet Touch eyeshadows. They look like this. I do have the Island Breeze one. I want to get the blue toned one too, but for right now this is what I've got. They're like kind of putty feeling, kind of like the ColourPop shadows, the Super Shock shadows. That's what these remind me of. It's pouring. My goodness. And then this one is the Mad for Matte eyeshadow in the shade Holy Smokes. This is the only Mad for Matte I have. I do want to get more, but this is what I got for now. So I think I want to play with the blue in here and the yellow in here. So I think that could be pretty. Let's start with the Mad for Matte. I'm going to take this white shade and just put that all over the lid. Even though I know we already said it, but I do want to put like a lighter color down. And this white is super pigmented, like, it's nice for a drugstore white. It's pretty. Because I am super fair, so if you can see a white on me, then you know you did something right. So there's that shade. Now I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm going to pop this like brownish color, like a taupey color, in the crease. These are so nice. This is like $10, I think. This one's $12, which I don't know that it's worth $12, but they are really nice. I got mine on sale for $6, which is why I don't have the blue one, because for some reason only this one was on sale, so I didn't pick up both of them. But for $6, definitely worth it. 12, kind of pushing it, but I'd probably still do it. Just knowing that I like it a lot, I'd probably still buy the blue one for $12. My god. It's coming down hard. Like, you guys probably can't even hear it, and you're probably like, oh my god, you're exaggerating, but it's raining pretty hard. I'd show you, but then you guys might like see where I live, and that'd be weird. So the shades are really nice. I wish these had names so I could tell you the names, but it's just like a taupey brown color. It's real pretty. I like it. Now I'm going to pick up this shade, a little bit deeper of a brown, and just do the same thing. Just going, ooh, that was darker than I wanted it to be. Okay. Well, let's mix that lighter brown in again. and just kind of blend that out a little bit better. These are super pigmented. I forgot how dark that was. That's okay. We'll make it work. I look like a weirdo now. I also still have like all that stuff on my hand, which is a fun time. So there's that so far. Now I'm going to pick up this blue on another fluffy brush. I'm going to take the blue shade in here and I'm going to pop that, that was lightning, in the inner portion and outer portion of my eye. I like to do this with a fluffy brush to start with, just to get like a feel for where it's going to be placed, and then go in with like a more, like a brush better for packing. That's Thunder. But yeah, this is what I like to do, is just take this little fluffy brush, get a good feel for where it's going to be placed. And this is a Wet n Wild brush as well. I should have tried to do like all drugstore brushes, but it's okay. I already kind of ruined that because the last brush I used was an Urban Decay brush. So now we're going to take a brush like this one. This is by Vintage Cosmetics. I'm going to pick up more of that blue. Now we're just going to go over what we already laid down. That's pretty. I can't get over like how hard the rain just started. Like there was no like sprinkles leading up to it. It was just clear and then boom. Glad I already went to the store. So pretty, like super pigmented for a drugstore palette. That is 10 bucks. And I'm pretty sure I got this one on sale for $5. Like what or Elf does those 50% off sales. That's when I like to stock up on Elf products, because I mean they're already super cheap, but if you can get them for even cheaper, why wouldn't you? So whenever this stuff goes on sale, I like to buy it. Also, Elf did something really cool where they collabed with influencers, like a bunch of them, and did proceeds for all of the, I don't know what I'm trying to say. They were all cruelty-free YouTubers. Like, I know J Kissa was one of them, and some other ones that I don't remember, but I really like J Kissa's videos. She was one of them, and she picked a palette that might have been this one. It was one of these palettes. It was one of the Matte for Matte palettes. She picked that, and all of the proceeds that were from that palette for like a 3-day period, I think, went to a animal charity of her choice, which I thought was so cool that Elf did that. I've never seen a brand, I mean brands collab with YouTubers all the time obviously, but I've never seen a brand like specifically say we're gonna collab with cruelty-free YouTubers, which I thought was so amazing that Elf did that. Because I know a lot of like cruelty-free brands sponsor YouTubers, but they're not always cruelty-free YouTubers, so I just thought that was cool. I'm ranting now. Now I'm going to take this brush, this is an Elf brush, and I'm going to mix those two brown shades together and just run that along the lower lash line. And get it in my eye apparently. One thing I didn't talk about in this video is eyeliners. I don't have a lot of like drugstore eyeliners that I love. ColourPop makes really good eyeliners, but they're not drugstore. They're drugstore priced though, if that matters. I'm also going to take this brush and dip into the blue a little bit more and run that along the inner and outer portion of the lower lash line. Just like so. I don't want that to be super pigmented on the lower lash line, just like enough that it gives you that hint of blue. Like so. Now I'm going to take the the Island Breeze palette, and I'm going to pick up a flat brush like this. This is a Luxie concealer brush. I'm going to dip into that yellow shade. I might switch to my finger, we'll see. And I'm going to place that in the center of the lid. Just like so. That's so pretty. Get a little bit more, focusing it closer to the lash line. Like so. Same thing over here. This one does really remind me of the ColourPop Shadow and Telepathy, the one that ColourPop did with Kathleen Lights. This one's a good, I wouldn't call it a dupe because they are like about the same price. Like this one comes in a palette and the other one you can get in a single, but they are very similar. So if you've been trying to get your hands on one but you want both, then maybe just skip on one. But I mean, I have both, but I'm a makeup junkie, so. Now I also want to put this on the lower lash line in the center as well, just to give that halo eye effect. I really like these colors together. And there's that. I need a brow bone highlight. Let's dip back into the Island Breeze and we're gonna take that white shade right there. I'm just gonna put it on a little brush like this. This is a Wet n Wild brush. And I'm going to put that in the inner corner. This shade's stunning. I did a little bit too much in that inner corner though. That's more where I wanted it to be, but that's okay. We're just gonna kind of like blend it away with the fingertip a little bit. Like so. Now I'm gonna put this on the brow bone. Just focusing it on the high points. And kind of blending it out. This is also super pretty in the center of like any shade. I love putting this white shade there, like, let's just do a little bit. Just to kind of brighten it even more. Just stick a little bit on this yellow shade and it just like gives it a little more brightness. Moving on, I need some more chapstick. My lips are like chapping. Moving on to mascara. This was the other product. Sorry. This is the other product that I just had to go buy because I ran out. And this is the Lash Renegade by Wet n Wild mascara, and it is in the shade Brazen Black. They did just come out with a purple one. I think it's like Amethyst something, which is my birthstone, fun fact. But I don't have that one. I haven't ever tried it, so I don't know if it's the same formula or not. But it's got this like little spiky ball on the end, and I don't know, I really like this mascara. Like, this is one of my favorites, drugstore or non-drugstore. It's one of my favorite mascaras. The only thing I don't like about it is it dries out pretty quickly, so you do have to like repurchase it more than I would care to, which is probably why I don't have it right now, because I was like tired of repurchasing. But it is really good, especially for drugstore, and it's like $6. So I'm a fan. This is a very wet formula as well, so if that's something you don't like, you probably won't love this, because it can go from cute to clumpy pretty quick, but I still really like it. I don't feel like you need a lot. Like, I mean, I've only dipped in one time so far, and I've done the top and lower lash line, and it looks really nice, at least I think. My favorite trick to do is just like coat it with the entire brush and then take the ends on like the ball tip and just like lengthen them even more. It looks nice. So other side, be careful not to look down though right away, because you can get it everywhere because, like I said, it is a super wet formula. So I like to let it dry before I try to look down too much. Mascara is also something that I haven't found a lot of mascaras that I love from the drugstore. Like, I know like Maybelline and L'Oreal make really good ones, but they're not cruelty free, so I'm not gonna use them. But I don't really care for many of e.l.f.'s mascaras. I think there might be one I like, but I don't ever remember what it is. I have a few Milani ones to try, but I don't know. That's another thing you guys should let me know down below, is your favorite cruelty-free mascaras from the drugstore. Because all of my mascaras are high-end and it's annoying because they're expensive. So it's not like quit raining, but it's still thundering. Iowa weather. And I got it on my face. Just a little bit. So there is the mascara that I really, really like. Okay, so I'm going to fix this little area that I got mascara on, because like I said, very wet formula, it's gonna happen. So last but certainly not least is my favorite lipstick formula. Actually, this is a liquid lipstick, but I prefer liquid lips usually over regular lipsticks just because they're easier, I guess. I don't know. They're kind of drying, but I don't know, they just last longer. I don't have to worry about it like getting everywhere, so I like liquid lips better. But this is what I have. This is the Liquid Catsuits by Wet n Wild, once again. This is the shade that I use pretty much all the time. It's in Nudie Patootie. I also have Pink Really Hard, Nice to Fuchsia, and So Noir Cool, which is a black liquid lipstick, which is super fun. I will swatch all these for you, and then we'll decide which one I want to use today to go with this look. This is Pink Really Hard, right there. Then we've got Nudie Patootie, which I wear literally like all the time, right there. To be honest, that's probably what we're gonna go with today. Nice to Fuchsia is beautiful as well. Oh. And then So Noir Cool is, put him over here, right there. Are we feeling the pink, or are we going with the nude? Let's just do the black. That'd be fun though. Let's just see. Maybe not. I love black liquid lips. Like, they're like one of my favorites. Oh, something else to talk about. These guys. These are the e.l.f. what are these? Makeup wipes. I use these all the time because they are super affordable and pretty much the only cruelty-free option I have here. But anyway, like I was saying, I love black liquid lips, but I feel like I can never pull them off. So if you're somebody that rocks those, like, we should be friends because I'm jealous. Because I want to be able to rock them, but I just feel like I can't. I got that one literally for a video, a Zodiac video, the Gemini one. I used that in there. I think that's literally the only time I've ever worn it. Then let's go ahead and set the face with my Hard Candy setting spray. And voila. This is a full face from the drugstore. I really like the way it turned out. I really like my eyes. They look really cool. At least I think they look cool. Maybe they look terrible. But yeah, this is it. You guys will have to let me know down below your favorite cruelty-free drugstore products. Let me know if there's anything that I just need to try. And don't forget to like this video if you guys want to see my future favorites from the drugstore videos. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Bye guys.